Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kaiowá. I am a shaman and spiritual leader of the Yawanawá tribe, guardian of the forests, of the stories, and of the mysteries that the jungle never reveals easily. 52 years living and learning with the land, with the animals, and with the ancestral spirits. Before I begin this account, I ask from my heart, subscribe to the channel, like, and share. Stories of real transformation and learning only appear here. You will not want to miss them. On a night like many others, but marked with a different tension, the jungle fell silent. The sound of crickets stopped, the wind seemed to hold its breath. And then came the scream, indecipherable, urgent. My hunters and I followed the sound, knowing this was not just another hunting night. We found a man cornered against an ancestral fig tree, panting, covered in mud, with torn clothes and a flashlight fallen near his feet. I recognized the face. He was the one called in the city the Billionaire. And blocking his escape was the Black Panther, the shadow spirit of our legends. The jungle was not pursuing him for food. It was demanding justice. In that instant, the powerful man from the city was no longer a billionaire. He was just another lost child, begging, "Help me." My youngest warrior touched my shoulder. "Chief, this is the man who wants to destroy our home. It is a sign from the spirits, their gift. Let the panther do what needs to be done." I looked at the young man and at the beast. Time seemed suspended. In that moment, between life and death, my voice was the last chance for balance. I looked deep into the panther's eyes. I saw her intelligence, her ancestral fury, and her right to be there. Then I faced the billionaire. His arrogance had evaporated, and all that remained was pure human fear. I sat on the wet ground, took the tobacco from my necklace, and offered it to the earth, chanting low. I asked permission from the ancestors to intercede, to teach the city man the true weight of the jungle. The panther hesitated. From the silence, she retreated and disappeared into the shadows. The billionaire was saved, but the debt to the forest was only beginning to be collected. I carried the man into the village along with my hunters. Our children peeked from behind the palms, curious. The village, lit by fires, seemed silently judge this unexpected visitor. I sat him beside my tent, gave him river water and vine leaves to make compresses. Only then did he dare to ask, "Why did you save me?" I looked deep into his eyes. The jungle did not want your death. It only wants your transformation. A life can be saved, but can a soul be changed? I went to my grandfather's house, where the old one speaks softly, and we say what cannot be said to visitors. "Is he dangerous, grandfather?" Every man who fears nature is dangerous, but those who learn to respect it can become great. I have heard these lessons since childhood, repeated like mantras. The billionaire's eyes were restless. He did not sleep that first night. He heard for the first time the sounds of the jaguar, the wind in the palms, and the drums that echo from our most ancient dreams. The next day he wanted to leave. He looked for signs of roads or civilization. My warriors laughed. "Here you only return when the forest allows it." I began to guide him through the forest paths, showing him the roots that heal, the fruits that nourish, and the plants that can kill. As he learned, his gaze changed. One day, at the river, he saw a child fishing with bare hands, without fear. "How does she do that?" he asked. "Because she knows the river. Knowing is stronger than dominating," I replied. Knowledge is power, but no power defeats respect. I decided to perform a healing ritual for him, as I noticed wounds that were not only in his body. Ayahuasca, tobacco, and silence. The man struggled against the visions, faced memories of childhood, of abandonment,
a family lost in the pursuit of fortune. He cried, did not deny the suffering. For the first time, his mask fell before himself. I sang until dawn, hoping he would find some path. In the following days, the billionaire, now called simply Alex by everyone, helped carry wood, fetch water, share food. He smiled at the children and listened to the stories of the elders. Gradually, he exchanged the worry about money for the desire to learn. He talked with my grandfather about life, about losing and winning without knowing the difference. One day, at the river's edge, he looked at me. Everything I conquered out there seems like dust compared to what I feel here. Sometimes you need to lose everything to discover what really matters. The days passed, and the village accepted Alex as another brother. He participated in the coming-of-age ceremony of a boy becoming an adult. He danced, painted his body, sang. The spirit seemed pacified. I asked if he was ready to leave. He said, I do not know if I deserve to return. No one deserves or does not deserve. The jungle gave you another chance. What you do with it is your responsibility. The day of return arrived. The helicopter appeared on the horizon, roaring against the trees, bringing executives, security guards, the weight of the old world. Alex hesitated before the open door. He turned to me. Shaman, before I go, I want to leave my word. I will protect this forest. I will use what I learned here to change the world out there. Promises are seeds, but only actions make transformation sprout. 3 months passed. I received news by radio. Alex created an environmental defense fund, donated part of his fortune, and visited the village with his young daughter to learn from the elders. His company sponsored reforestation and indigenous education projects, but more than money, he brought respect. In one of his letters he wrote, "The jungle saved me. You taught me to be part, not owner." The true power of the shaman is not to save lives, but to open paths so others learn to transform themselves. Today, around the fire, I tell this story to the new generations. I show that there is no greater wealth than knowing how to listen to the earth, welcome the other, and learn to become part of the mystery. I ask again, subscribe and like this channel to help share stories the world needs to hear. Because what unites us, after all, is realizing that even the most powerful man is just another soul seeking his place among the spirits. This is how the true shaman thinks, acts, and teaches.